Today we are discussing, the Trump disaster money, the whole ties to, Israel and cutting that disaster money. Now listen, this is horrible to say, but that shit is fucked up. Excuse my language in the first 18 seconds of the video, but cutting disaster money is horrible. Luckily, if you read the articles that are out now, the White House has reversed that. Oh, only 5 hours later and they reversed that. Thank God. Thank God. Oh, excuse me. Good morning, good morning, good morning. But yeah, they were cutting disaster relief money for anyone that, boycotts Israeli companies. But they reversed that decision. Thank you, Mr. Trump. Thank you. I was a little bit worried there for a second that maybe you were getting blackmailed for someone by something, by a country, perhaps. But if you reversed it, that shows me a little bit of backbone, Mr. Trump. A little bit of backbone. So it's good to see that. It's good to see that, Mr. Trump. It's good to see that. But I'm still worried. Still worried. Let's wait for some people to get in here. Then we'll really talk and discuss about this whole situation. But a lot of stuff that crazy guy Alex Jones says is pretty spot on. I recommend watching his videos on it. Now listen, there's a lot of things that Trump does or the Trump administration does, whatever you want to call it, that I disagree with. This was one of them. Luckily, they reversed it. Thank God. This was a disaster of a policy. You can't blame the people in the state for the government not supporting Israel. That's not, their fault. If their mayor or their governor or anyone in the city, it's even for cities. It's not just for entire states. It was for cities and states. If anyone disagrees in your city or state or tries to boycott Israel, you weren't going to get disaster relief funds. You weren't going to get disaster relief funds. Now, how messed up is that when you can't even get disaster relief funds because your mayor or your governor doesn't support Israel? Listen, I have nothing inherently wrong with Israel or the Jewish people. I don't think we should be giving them all these special rules and money and stuff like that. But this goes for any country. This goes for any country. But I also don't support Hamas and Hezbollah. I like Israeli people and Jewish people and Jewish people in general. I just don't like Bibi Netanyahu. I do not like Benjamin Netanyahu. Truth-seeking traveler. Truth-seeking traveler. You're on the right channel, my guy. I would love to visit Israel. I just don't like their leadership. I love Jewish Israeli people, but I do not support Netanyahu and his decisions. And I do not support any other of the leadership of Israel. What the hell are they doing? What the hell are they doing to the United States, and what the hell are they doing to the Middle East? I understand that they're the only, democratic country in the Middle East. But at the same time, I don't understand what the hell is going on. Why are they trying to gain so much power and influence over the United States? We should be the ones having power and influence over them. We give them all our money, yet we don't have any power or influence. How are they controlling us when we're giving them money? I don't understand. And I'm not saying they're in complete control of us. Obviously, Donald Trump has just resisted one of their futile efforts to try to stop our disaster money if, they don't give us money. I mean, if someone doesn't support them. Like if a state or a government starts boycotting Israel, basically, they want to, no disaster relief money for you. No disaster relief money for you if you don't support Israel or if you boycott Israel or one of Israel's companies. First off, how do we even know which companies are Israeli companies? What if we accidentally boycott them? Second off, why does it matter what the government does? Like if a governor or a city mayor boycotts Israel, why does that have to hurt the people? But thank God this has been reversed. Now, this is proof that Donald Trump doesn't listen to the demands. This is proof that Donald Trump does not listen to the demands of Israel. They tried to force it on him. They tried to force it on Trump. They said, do what I say. Hello, guys. Welcome in. Double tap the screen, like, subscribe. Why do all the extreme anti-Trumper profile pictures have a J.D. Vance bald meme? Is this some kind of huge anti-Trumper club or TDS club where you have to have a bald J.D. Vance meme profile? Or what is the, what is the requirement for your special TDS club? Was it a J.D. Vance meme with the bald guy? Because it seems every single hater that joins has a J.D. Vance bald profile. Cool, that's a funny meme, bro, but you're not even listening to what I say. I love Obama. He deported 3 million plus illegal immigrants. 80% got no due process. What we're talking about is the Israel situation. Israel has boycotted. They have not boycotted. Let me restate that again. So yesterday, Israel kind of forced down on the U.S. Well, we don't have proof of this, but basically, President Trump's administration said any states, any cities that boycott Israel or Israeli companies, if they boycott Israel or Israeli companies, we're not giving them disaster relief money. And 5 hours later, thank God Trump changed this, because why should people be attacked, harmed, and hurt because their government doesn't support Israel? That makes no sense. Trump, I was heavily against this. Thank God you actually have a pair of balls and you stood up against whoever you had to stand up to. And you said, no, we're not going to cut off disaster relief money. We're not going to cut off disaster relief money just because you don't like Israel and you don't support Israel and you want to boycott their companies or their government. We're not going to take away your disaster relief money. Now that is proof. That is proof right there that Israel is not blackmailing Donald Trump. I was honestly thinking when this article first came out saying that, oh, you can't get disaster relief funds anymore. You can't get disaster relief funds if your state or your city is boycotting Israel and Israel's companies. I was thinking, okay, this got to be blackmail at this point. Mr. Trump, I'm sorry, but that got to be blackmail. Why else would you do that? 5 hours later, he reversed the decision. Thank you, Mr. Trump, for reversing your decision on Israel. Thank you. Are you from India, Steve? Because we're just going to keep hitting India with more and more tariffs. We don't need anything from India. You don't even know what I'm talking about, Jason, but keep hating all you want. You don't have a voice. I have a voice. That's the difference between me and you. Guys, slap that like, subscribe button. Let me know if there's anything you guys want to talk about. Like I said, I really was thinking that Israel was blackmailing Donald Trump. But now it's concrete in my brain that if they were blackmailing Mr. Trump, then they would have forced this on him. He rejected Israel. Thank you. Thank you. He reversed this decision. It doesn't matter now if you're boycotting Israel or, Israeli companies or whatever. You're still going to get disaster relief money. He reversed this decision. He reversed it. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything you guys want to talk about, let me know. Drop a super chat. We can do some push-ups again like we did yesterday morning. If anyone drops a $10 super chat for 300 to 400 push-ups, we'll do it. Misdirection is chess game he is playing. No, that's wrong. I don't know what you mean by that, but it's wrong, I think. Double tap the screen, hit the like, subscribe button. Thank God Trump isn't getting rid of disaster relief money anymore for people that go against Israel or any countries or like that or anything like that. We need disaster relief money no matter what. It doesn't matter if you boycott Israel. That's our taxpayer money. Eugenics. It's not right. It's not right if you take away the people's Disaster relief money. Hit the like, subscribe button. Let me know where you guys are coming from. Double tap that screen. And good morning, everybody. Hope you have a great Tuesday. Hope you're having a great week. We're just having a little bit discussions about Israel. Listen, I'm not the guy that likes to talk about Israel too much. I don't have any problem with the Israeli people or the Jewish community or the Jewish people. I love Israel. I just don't like Bibi Netanyahu. I just don't like Netanyahu. I have not seen one genuine good thing he's done for his country. I'm sorry. And I know Israel is the only country that has democracy and so on, but in the Middle East, I mean. How's everyone doing, though? Any questions, any comments you guys want to talk about? Drop some super chats. It's their country. Israel is its own country. But when it comes to United States politics, they should not be pushing to get rid of disaster relief money. India buys cheap Russian oil. Yep. We got a lot of Trump derangement syndrome. It always happens early in the morning. I completely understand. I love Trump derangement syndrome. If there's something specific you want me to talk about, drop some super chats. I can talk about it. I probably have a completely different opinion from what you've heard in the mainstream media. Hit that like, subscribe button. Let me know where you guys are coming from. What city, what state. I think some things Biden did was good. Yeah, I didn't do my regular live stream. I was a bit busy this morning. I figured I'd do it now. Yes, I have conceded on positions before, but you're completely brainwashed and you don't listen to what I say. I've conceded multiple times. Literally no clue what you're talking about. Jason, you're the only one that hasn't conceded. You won't admit the economy is booming. You won't admit tariffs are working. You won't admit the stock market is booming. Jason, why do I have to tell you anything? You contribute 0 to this channel. 0! Like, subscribe, double tap the screen. If you guys have any actual good questions, I can talk and answer them. But there's plenty of things I don't like about Trump and his policies. But I still believe he's the best man for the job. Talk about the Trump derangement syndromers. Thank you, Lunchbox. Much appreciated. That's right. Super chat, any questions, topics, they're all read out loud. Either way you look at it, even if you don't like some things Trump did, there's no way in hell you can say Harris would be better for the job. That is just a blatant lie. Blatant lie. Double tap that screen, guys, and subscribe. We're not on the verge of a recession. A booming stock market is not recession. See, that is Trump derangement syndrome. You can't even tell me what crimes Trump committed. When the bank says no crimes have been committed and you still get prosecuted and the laws have to change, and laws of the state have to change for you to get prosecuted, then I think it's a false charges. And even if the charges were true, who gives a flying fuck about falsifying business documents? You know how many business owners falsify documents? You know how many business owners falsify documents? First off, the bank said he falsified nothing. Second off, you know how many business owners falsify documents? What is his crime? What is his crime? What crime? This is a victimless crime. This is a victimless crime. Nobody cares about victimless crimes. The bank didn't get affected. The country didn't get negatively affected. Canada can join the US when we take it over. Double tap that screen though. So you agree there was no victims in the crime. Fantastic. Then stop using your Trump derangement screaming, criminal, criminal, criminal. No one gives a damn about victimless crimes. You know, either way, even if this crime was real, who doesn't? Majority of business owners have either made a mistake in their paperwork or falsified some documents here and there. Have you seen how far we've risen in just 180 days? He paid his taxes. What are you yapping about? $400 million in taxes. He did not get charged with owing the IRS $400 million. What are you yapping about? You don't even know what his criminal charges are. That's why you're speaking out of your ass. Let me know if you guys have any questions, comments, anything you guys want me to mention, discuss, talk about. All super chats will be read out loud. I don't know where you get your information from, but the GDP is booming. Booming. Booming economy. Booming GDP. Hundreds of thousands of jobs every month. Let me know. Any good questions or comments? Anything you guys actually want me to talk about? The economy is booming. Trump's charges, his criminal convictions have 0 victims. 0 victims in his criminal convictions. And don't forget, the stock market is booming. Luckily, he reversed this. Thank you, Trump, for fighting against that hat. Thanks for fighting against those tiny hats and reversing this, Mr. Trump. Thank you. Stormy Daniels owes Mr. Trump $600,000. Anyone can make allegations. Biden has countless essay allegations. Countless. His own daughter basically put an essay allegation against him. Look up Ashley Biden's diary. That's basically his own daughter giving allegations of essay against Mr. Biden, and that's what you voted for. Disgusting! His own daughter. Meanwhile, you want to talk about how Trump called his daughter beautiful. What's the big whoop? What's the big whoop that this guy likes younger women that are legal age? 18, 19, 20. As long as they're legal, it's okay. They call them beautiful. Even if they're 17 and you call them beautiful, that's not a crime. That's not a crime. Hit the like, subscribe button. Drop some super chats if you guys have any questions. Double tap that screen. Let me know if there's anything you guys want to talk about. He fought against these tiny hat fellas. That way, he doesn't have to boycott and get rid of disaster relief funds from cities and states that engage in boycotts against Israel. He fought against them. I thought they were blackmailing him. Nope. He's not listening to this bullshit that they want him to do. MAGA for life. Let's go. Drop some super chats, guys. If anyone wants me to do 300 to 400 push-ups live on camera, I'll get on the ground and start doing push-ups. Just drop a $10 or $20 super chat. Double tap that screen. You guys are leaving a lot of big paragraph comments, and the comments are moving like this. I'm not going to read all these comments. I'm not going to read most of them unless you drop a super chat. If you want to know my opinion on something or questions on something, we can talk about it. We can talk about it. Whatever you guys want to talk about, but Mr. Trump canceled this. He's fighting against some of these fellas with these types of hats. There's a surplus in the government. There's a surplus in the government. You're a grown man, Jason, talking about my super chats. You get $0 watching this. $0. And I give 0 fucks about what you're talking about. So enjoy that. You can come back in 24 hours. See you tomorrow. You guys got any questions? Any comments? Drop a $20 super chat. I'll do 50 push-ups right now. 50 push-ups. Let me know where you guys are coming from. What city? What state? No spamming. Spamming will be removed. Trump is doing an excellent job. The economy is booming. A booming economy. If Trump did something so badly, why did Elon donate $5 million to him after he said that he was in those files? That made no sense. By the way, I believe it was $15 million, not $5 million. They're nominating Mr. Trump for Nobel Peace Prize. 3 countries have recommended Mr. Trump for that Nobel Peace Prize. Lots and lots of new jobs. Recommendations for that Nobel Peace Prize. Let me know where you're coming from, guys. Double tap that screen. Double tap, double tap, double tap. If you guys have any questions or comments, I can answer them for super chats. We can talk about whatever you like. Shout out New York. But I'm not liking the guy that's, leading in your mayor votes. Still hating on a man who's actually stopped some wars. How many wars did Biden and Obama start? Oh, wait. Multiple. They started multiple wars. How many wars did they stop? Wait. None. None. No wars. Trump has stopped 4 or 5 wars. Depends what you count. But roughly 4 or 5. How many wars has Trump started? 0. He deserves that Nobel Peace Prize. He should get a giant Nobel Peace Prize chain, just like that. What wars did Biden start? He didn't stop any of the wars that were going on. He let troops die in Afghanistan when he did that pullout. That was pretty bad. Israel, Russia. Those are 2 pretty bad wars he did absolutely nothing about. Didn't even attempt to do anything. Just gave them money. That's not helping a war end. Giving countries money isn't helping a war end, Mr. Biden. If you guys have any questions, anything you guys like to talk about, anything you want me to read out loud, you can drop some super chats. I'm here to listen to you guys. We live in a time when intelligent people are being silenced so that stupid people won't be offended. Now that is sad. That is sad. I've already talked about the Epstein thing 100,000 times. Go watch one of my 20 videos on it. Unless you want me to talk about it some more, you can drop a super chat. But please, make it something specific at least. Ice. Ice, ice, ice. Alligator Alcatraz. The Trump haters has no money. That's why they crying. Yeah, they might need a JOB because they can't afford a question on a super chat or anything they want to talk about. But look how amazing Alligator Alcatraz is. Trump's the first president to employ gators and pythons. That's how well the job market is doing. Gators and pythons are getting jobs. But the Dems can't manage it. The Dems can't manage it. Double tap that screen. Let me know where you guys are coming from. What city? What state? Look at that. That is fantastic right there. If you love this image, double tap that screen. Double tap that screen. I gotta sneeze. Hold on. Bless me. This is not rage bait. It's a red hat. If you're getting enraged by a red hat, then maybe you should seek therapy. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed. This guy's really offending me. You should be ashamed. Oh no, Trump is our president. I had to deal with Biden for 4 years. I wasn't crying my eyes out like you Trump derangement people are. If you guys have any questions, there's still travel content. There's still travel live streams. But we're blending the content together. We travel and we talk about politics. But look at that lovely photo. Look at that lovely photo. What is this one? The economy will be even more in a boom in 5 or 6 months. It's already booming now, but in 5 or 6 months, hell, it's going to do even better. A breakdown on how the Democrat Party died. I need a VP dumber than me. I need a VP dumber than me. I need a VP dumber than me. Boys need tampons. Now that is a perfect breakdown of how the Democratic Party has the lowest rating in 3 decades. 3 decades. 3 decades, guys. 3 decades. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Anything you want me to read out loud, talk about, discuss, we can talk about it. Double tap that screen, like, subscribe, anything you guys want to talk about. It's embarrassing to be a Democrat in 2025. Now here's something I want to talk about. I do believe we're in a verbal civil war against these people. Right now it's just really aggressively arguing and protests. But the right and the left are in a form of civil war, you could say, in one way or another. Now I just hope it doesn't get to the streets, because we already know who has most of the firepower. But we are in a verbal, mental, and abusive, verbally, civil war against the left and the right are both fighting each other. But, hear me out. A lot of people are leaving the Democratic Party. Now, it doesn't mean these people support Trump all of a sudden. They just realize the Democratic Party is failing. They rather call themselves libertarians. They rather not be embarrassed by something like this creature down here, or this creature, or this elderly, sickly fella, unfortunately. Prayers for him. I hope he gets better. Now, this is the perfect opportunity to create a third party. But I don't think we should be jumping on Elon Musk's party. Elon is a smart guy. He sees a lot of people leaving the Democratic Party. That's why he's trying to create a third party. But I don't think this third party should be ran by a man that wasn't born in America. I don't think this party should be ran by a guy that's switched up on 2 presidents. Elon was supporting Biden on Twitter the first time, then he supported Trump on Twitter. And he switched up on both of them as soon as they didn't do what he wanted. As soon as Biden didn't bring Elon to the EV summit, Elon switched up on him. As soon as Trump didn't give those tax credits for the EV vehicles, Elon switched up on him. I like Elon and all, but he's all about business. He's all about business. I'm worried. I'm in college, and college students I study with are in Medicaid. We make less than $15,000 a year, and nursing school is expensive. Well, what are you worried about? This big, beautiful bill has already been passed. I want you to know that this bill has been passed. It's been signed. Please, please do not believe everything you hear out there about Medicaid being crushed or destroyed. It is simply not true. Brian, I will send you my prayers. I pray for everyone. Lots of my family has gone to nursing school before, so I sympathize with you. I'm putting all the politics aside. I know you don't like Trump. I know nursing school is expensive, and I know you're worried, but I'm trying to ease your pain right now when I say this. Medicaid is not going to be removed for any American citizens. I can guarantee you this. I guarantee you this. Come back to this video, Brian, in a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, a year later, and tell me if your Medicaid is still here. Because I'm telling you, they're not removing Medicaid for American citizens. A lot of people will straight up lie to you. I have lawyers that come on this live stream and they say, oh, people are lying out here. They're Democrat lawyers too. They don't like Trump. They tell you, oh, that's bullcrap. People do not read this bill. I'm a lawyer, not me, but people that came on this show. And I did not read the 980 pages of the big, beautiful bill. It says nothing about removing Medicaid for American citizens that need it. It says nothing about removing Medicaid or Medicare or any of that stuff for anyone that actually needs it. You know what it says about Medicaid? It says the illegal immigrants. Please do research on this specific thing. Look up illegal immigrants no longer getting free health care, free insurance, any of that stuff. They're not getting any of that stuff anymore. It's unfortunate for them, but they entered the country illegally. They should not be rewarded. And please, don't worry. I know you don't like Trump, but please, do me a favor. From one American to another. Either, don't go down this rabbit hole in general, because then you're going to hurt yourself and hurt your brain, or fully educate yourself and realize that this big, beautiful bill already passed a month ago, and no one has lost their Medicaid or their Medicare other than illegal immigrants. And it's facts. And I hope you, get through nursing school and everything works out for you, my friend. Because, we need people like you. We need nurses. We need doctors. We need people doing this stuff, especially down where I live in Florida in the South. There's a lot of elderly people, and there's a lot of sick people that need, everything. Listen, I have family on Medicaid and Medicare. None of them have lost it. And most of them, probably 50% of them, no, they're not going to lose it. So prayers to you. Prayers to you. But I'm telling you guys, you're not going to lose your Medicaid or Medicare. Medicaid or Medicare. If you would have lost it already, then yeah. But I'm telling you, you're not going to. Here, look. This is what the Big Beautiful Bill actually says. Blocks free food and health care and tuition for illegal immigrants. For illegal immigrants. No American citizens are going to lose their Medicare or Medicaid. Trump is the only president that's out here helping the homeless, helping the veterans, and helping the American citizens that deserve it. He would not take away people that work, people that go to school. He's not going to take away your Medicare, your Medicaid, or your food stamps. He's not. If there's anything specific you guys want me to talk about, please drop some super chats. This isn't a quote. I'm not quote mining. This is a headline. This is an important headline. This is facts. Food stamps still work. Yes, they do. I'm saying the truth. You guys has been saying for the last 6 months, Social Security, we're going to lose our Social Security, we're going to lose our Medicare and our Medicaid. First, Elon was going to take away your Social Security, your Medicare, and your Medicaid. Then, when Elon left the White House, the next thing you could blame it on was the big, beautiful bill. You started blaming it on the big, beautiful bill. Now, the big, beautiful bill has been signed, placed into law, and no one has lost their Medicaid or their Medicare or their Social Security money for that matter. The only one that's lost it is the illegal immigrants. No U.S. citizens have lost it. None. No hospitals are closing. Lots of my family members are doctors, they're nurses, they own medical companies. You guys don't know what you're talking about. You're spreading fear and hate, just like your Democratic Party does. Not yet. Just wait 4 more years when Trump is out of office. That's what a lot of Democrats are spewing hate because now they can't, since the bill already passed, they can't say, oh, the bill's going to make them lose it instantly. So now a lot of these Democrats are saying, well, in 2028, they're going to lose their Medicare, their Medicaid, and their Social Security. It's in the bill. They know you're not going to read 980 pages. That's why it's easy to spread fake information about this bill because they know you're not going to read 980 pages. So it's easy for them to spread propaganda and fake news. I don't want a lot of old people in government. I would like a lot of the younger generation to come in and run for president and be senators and be in the government. The world flourishes if the U.S. does good. Double tap that screen, like, subscribe. Let me know where you guys are coming from. What city, what state? If there's anything specifically you guys really want to talk about, you can drop some super chats. You can like, subscribe, shout out Maine. Shout out Maine. A lot of these questions you've already asked me or you want me to talk about, I've answered them 100 times. Just go watch my other content if you're not going to drop a super chat. We've already talked about Jeffrey for 10, 20 hours straight. If you want to hear me talk about Jeffrey, go watch one of my great videos on it. Or drop a super chat, we can talk about him. I'm not answering them 101 times for free. No, it's not happening. Sorry. You're just beating the horse. It's just another buzzword. You don't actually care about talking about anything specific. I hope that Trump doesn't take away our resources from child born illegal in the U.S., including citizenships. First off, let me read that question again and think about an answer for a second. Give me a second, guys. You hope Trump doesn't take resources away from children born from illegal citizens. Well, if they were born from an illegal citizen, first off, let's talk about birthright citizenship. The court system has turned down taking away birthright citizenship. I personally believe that, anchor babies should not be allowed to stay in this country. Birthright citizenship is not what most countries have. You can do your research. Just because you're born in another country, especially a lot of European countries, if you're born there, you automatically do not get a citizenship or a passport. The U.S. is really one of, the main countries that does that. And if you're born to illegal citizens, I don't necessarily think you should get a citizenship. But either way, I can go either way. I really don't care if this law is passed or not. I don't care if we get rid of birthright citizenship. I'm not saying I'm in favor of it, But I just think it's messed up that you can come on a plane pregnant with a kid, and that's like a loophole that you can have to get the birthright citizenship. I don't think that's right. An illegal alien should not be able to come into the U.S., fly into a plane just to achieve a U.S. passport for their kid. That's wrong. That's wrong in so many levels. You're skipping the process that people pay thousands of dollars for and wait a decade for. But I don't think I'm not saying, I know Trump is trying to take away birthright citizenship, but I don't think the court system will let him, to be honest with you. But if they do let him, that's fine with me too. Whatever happens, happens. I know people that their parents are illegal immigrants and they have a citizenship. Oh well, if it gets taken away, oh well. I'm sorry to say, oh well. Their parents entered the country illegally. They are anchor babies at the end of the day. They had these children here to try to make sure they don't get deported. They try to have these kids here so they could get a U.S. citizenship, etc., etc. I'm sorry to say it, but I'm not one of those people that don't know anyone that has two illegal parents that came to this country and they were born here. I know people in this exact circumstance. And if they lose their citizenship, then, oh well. But either way, I don't think it's going to happen. But I don't really side one way or another. But I do agree that anchor babies are born from a slave, then naturalized citizen only. Well, some lady was screaming at me saying that they're trying to get rid of naturalization. Isn't naturalization still a thing? They would be a naturalized citizen even if they get rid of birthright citizenship. Is that correct? Listen, I'm not a citizenship lawyer. I don't know all these questions and comments, but if you guys want to educate me on it, I'm here to listen to it. If born from a slave, naturalized citizenship only. Yeah, people that were slaves, people that were born from slaves, there was something in the Constitution or the laws that made them citizens through naturalization, if you guys didn't know that history. But as far as if they get rid of birthright citizenship, would they get naturalization? I don't know. I'm not an immigration lawyer. I don't know. Can anyone answer that question? If they got rid of birthright, if they got rid of, the 14th Amendment. I'm a Christian. I focus on God every day. I know there's a big difference. That's why I'm waiting for someone to explain it to me so I can better understand. I'm not a citizenship lawyer. Once again, I don't know everything. I'm not one of these Democrats that claims, oh, I know everything. I know everything in the Constitution. I hate when Democrats claim they know everything in the Constitution. They don't. They're scrolling through Google, looking at the Constitution, telling us they know everything. They fumbled the law with anchor babies. The 14th Amendment was designed for slave children. I'm not talking about the future children. I'm talking about the 150,000 babies born in the last 21 years. It is to take that away. Like I stated before, I don't think that they're going to take away their citizenship. Many courts and judges have already turned this down. Now, it still has to go to the Supreme Court. I'm pretty sure they're the ones that get the final say in this matter. But, hell, I don't know. Maybe we could meet somewhere in the middle. It should have never happened. Listen, like I said, I know people that were born to immigrant parents that were both illegal immigrants, two illegal immigrant parents. But you want to know a simple way they could avoid this? If they've been in the country for 21 years, here's what I'm going to say, Brian. If they're 21 years old, if they're 22 years old, and neither one of their parents have bothered to change their citizen status to legal immigrant instead of illegal immigrant, that just shows a lack of caring about the system. They had 21 years to apply for citizenship legally. One of these girls I know that both of her parents are illegal, one of them just became a legal citizen. So even if they get rid of birthright citizenship, one of her parents is a legal U.S. citizen now. I don't know about the other one. Maybe the other one is legal too as well. I don't know. But I know for a fact one of her parents just became a legal U.S. citizen. So if you've been in the country 21 years and you have zero effort to change your citizen status to legal immigrant, I don't understand why you shouldn't be punished in some way. 21 years of ignoring American law. You know how many presidents have gone by in 21 years? Like I said, I'm not saying I'm pro birthright citizenship or anti-birthright citizenship. One thing I will say is anchor babies exist. And if you've been ignoring the citizenship laws for 21 years, I do believe your entire family should be negatively affected. Call me a monster, call me what you want. But 21 years in the country, you should at least be fined, deported, no citizenship, something. Because that is straight ignorance of the law. 21 years of ignoring the legal system is insane. It's insane. I can't imagine just sitting in a country for 21 years, ignoring all options to get legal status. There's been many different options in the last 21 years. Many options. And listen, I'm not a immigration lawyer, but I will say, I do know an illegal immigrant that was in the country for 20 years. And then they were able to apply for citizenship rather quickly. It only took them about 1 or 2 years because they've been in the country so long. There's some legal laws out there that if you're in the country for so long, like 20 years, something like this. Listen, I'm not an immigration attorney, so don't take this as fact. Don't take this as, real things, or, just take this lightly. Because like I said, I don't know all the immigration laws. But he was in the country for 20 plus years illegally. And he was able to file his family members, his daughter's taxes and stuff like that, and gain citizenship pretty quickly, rather quickly. What did this guy say? There was no slaves in the last 21 years. You know there was people here before the Native Americans. Brother, you are disgusting. And that's my thoughts on that. I believe if you've been in the country 20 years illegally, there's fast track processes to gain citizenship. Once again, I said I'm not an immigration attorney or a lawyer or anything like that. Oh, bless me. That was a very good point you share. Word slavery would people now sign in the dotted line that they come from slavery? That's a very good point you share. Word, slavery. Would people now sign in the dotted line that come from slavery? I don't know what you mean by sign on the dotted line that come from slavery. I honestly don't know what you mean by that comment. I would love to answer it as best as I could, but if you want to drop an explanation. Word, slavery. Well, there's been no slaves in the last 21 years, but I would argue the people that work for unjustly wages that are illegal, undocumented immigrants, they're pretty close to being slaves. I would say that they're indentured slaves. Indentured slaves. Indentured slaves. But guys, hit that like, subscribe button. Would they admit that they were slaves, Brian? That's a great question. So, for example, when it comes to children that were just born into the country and both their parents are illegal, I don't think the parent should be rewarded with a legal U.S. citizenship for a child. And for the parents that have been in the country for 22 years and they're both still illegal, I don't think they should be rewarded for ignoring the law for 22 years. I'm not racist. I love all people. But if there's anything you guys want me to talk about so badly, you can drop a super chat. I'll hear you out. I'll hear you out. Cry. What people are coming into the U.S. because of slavery? Can you name one group of people that are coming into the U.S. because of slavery? I personally know some, but they're not the majority of the people that are entering the country, are not coming here to avoid slavery. Would it be better to admit you come from slavery or you're coming into the country illegally because of slavery? None of them is a good option. I don't know what you mean by none of them is a good option. But that wasn't the point that Lunchbox was making. I worship no man. I think it's hilarious that Sarah wants to preach about God, but she admits that she doesn't follow any religious rules, including the Bible, the Ten Commandments, or anything related to the Bible. But she wants to preach about God. Hilariously ironic. No, I don't worship Trump. I've already said multiple things I disagree with him about. But that doesn't mean I'm going to start wearing a Harris hat and saying she's the best woman for the job, because she's not. But like I said, I know many people in many different immigration situations. It's not like I haven't met any anchor babies before. It's not like I haven't met illegal immigrants before. I grew up with a lot of these people. But I still think illegal alien immigrants should be deported. I know they're people, I understand. But you should not be rewarded for entering the country illegally. Simple as that. Double tap that screen. Like, subscribe. I don't hate illegals. I just want them to be deported because they've committed a crime. The only people I hate is PDF files and people like that. They should be put in the wood chipper. If they're convicted, if there's photo, video evidence, yeah, they should be, put in the wood chipper. I pray for Biden's well-being too. Just because I dislike what he did as a president. No, jumping over the border is a felony. I don't know what you're talking about, a misdemeanor. Even if it was a misdemeanor, that's still a crime. A misdemeanor is still a crime. That still makes you a criminal. Yes, yes indeed. So let's even pretend it's a misdemeanor, which I believe it's a felony. But we can pretend it's a misdemeanor. It is a crime. It's literally a crime. There's a reason even if it's a civil offense, crime. It's not a civil offense. If there is no visa, then you can't be in the U.S. Simple as that. Either way, it's a crime. A civil offense is a crime. And it doesn't matter. Either way, by law, they should be deported. The law says illegal alien immigrants should be deported. Either you're doing legal immigration, going through the legal route, or you're doing it illegally. It's that simple. It doesn't matter if it's a misdemeanor, a civil offense, or a felony. Really, it doesn't matter. 80% of the people Barack Obama deported got no due process. The Expedited Removal Act that Bill Clinton passed in the 90s says you don't have to go to a criminal court hearing. No visa, no entry. Simple, just like every other country. I've never got a ticket. I've never got a misdemeanor. So no, I haven't got a speeding ticket. I've not got a misdemeanor. No, I have not. And I speed all the time. I never got a ticket. Never got a misdemeanor. No. Hit the like, subscribe button. I just said I've never been charged with breaking the law. And if you do break the law, you should get in trouble for it. So I don't know what your point is. Doesn't matter what your point is. The law states if you enter the country illegally, you should be apprehended and deported. Just like if you speed, you should be getting a speeding ticket. Yes. You should follow the law or see the consequences. It's that simple. It doesn't matter if it's a misdemeanor. You should be deported. Look up, should you be deported if you enter the country illegally? Look that up. Any other questions, comments, anything you guys want to talk about? If not, I might wrap up this live stream in a couple minutes, a minute or two. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you guys. You don't know about the immigration law. You're not attorneys. I'm not going to argue about laws with people that aren't attorneys. I'm going to have literal attorneys on this show talking with me, discussing all the time. None of you are qualified to talk about this subject. And you don't even use Google to look up if illegal immigrants should be deported. Yes, they should be deported. It's in the law. Otherwise, they wouldn't be getting deported. No, they're not. The attorneys I talked to are all for what the law says, deport the illegal immigrants. If you can prove someone comes from another country, should citizenship be given? I think that's what you mean. Should citizenship be given in order to prevent slavery? Yeah, it is given to prevent slavery. That's you can get asylum like that. If you can prove that, yeah, you'll get asylum rather quickly. That's exactly why we have valid asylum claims. You can file for asylum and you can seek it and you'll get it. So yeah, they're not, I don't know if they get citizenship. I don't know what the exact legal procedure is, but they're allowed to come into the country, whether it's a green card or a citizenship. So yeah, to answer your question, yeah, they're allowed to come into the country to avoid slavery. Yes, they are. And yes, they should be. You best read up on your asylum laws. Yep. You can seek it and you can get it. I think you would agree with me that it is an abuse to all help by very dangerous people. All held by very dangerous people. Yeah, I don't know what you're really saying in that comment, but I agree with you. Good morning, Dark Horse Productions. How are you doing, brother? If you guys have any more questions, comments, anything you want to talk about, drop some super chats. Yeah, of course I agree. If you have a real asylum claim, you should be granted asylum. Like slavery, you're running away from someone trying to kill you, yeah, that's a valid asylum claim. But also the thing about asylum is that if you're trying to claim asylum, you shouldn't be jumping country to country to country. When you're running from asylum, the asylum law, I could be wrong about this, but asylum law says if you're trying to seek asylum, you have to seek asylum in the next viable country that you go into, that you're near. So if you're coming from way down in South America and there's another great country on your way, you should be seeking asylum there, not inside the United States. But listen, once again, I don't know all the asylum laws. Whatever the asylum law says referring to this, I agree with them. I think that is the asylum law. You don't get to jump from country to country to country to come to the United States. If there's another viable country on your way here, that's where you should claim asylum. If you guys have a question or comment, drop a super chat. We can talk for another 20 minutes if we get one more super chat. If Brian wants me to talk about something specific, anyone wants me to talk about something specific, or look up any laws or discuss anything, we can do it. Drop a super chat or we're going to wrap up this morning. But we can talk about whatever you like. Good morning, Liberty Cast. How are you doing? Unless we get some good super chat questions or comments in the next 2 minutes, I think we might wrap up. Or we might come back in 20, 30 minutes, possibly. Good to hear you're doing well, brother. Any good questions or super chats? Any super chats you guys want me to answer? We got 9 people in here. I'll be back in 10 or 20 minutes, possibly. Possibly. But I appreciate you, Brian. Thank you for coming in. I hope you like, subscribe. If you're still watching, please join my Discord, Brian. I would love to talk to you one-on-one in the Discord. We can, maybe we can get you on stream, Brian. I'd love to have you on stream as well. If you're interested in being in stream, debating, discussing with me, you can join the Discord. The Discord! Alright, guys. That's that. Join the Discord, link in the bio. You can be a guest on the show. We can talk, we can discuss, whatever you like. Oh, sorry, guys. I accidentally shut off my phone. Good luck with nursing school, Brian. Good luck to you. I hope you still have your Medicaid and Medicare. I'm sure you will, but just don't be so negative. Look at the positives. And thank you guys for everything. Peace out, everybody. I'll be back in maybe 20 minutes. We'll see.